miracle is the loss of your separate part association.
Yes.
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 So you came here as separate parts, but now you're bringing those parts together. How would you be sick? Oh my goodness. Oh, friends. You don't meet strangers. These are the first 130 to 135. Let go of your previous conceptions, because your previous conceptions are what? Sickness is. It's not sick. Illness, disease, staticness, time, death. Remember yesterday, if I defend myself, if I name myself, I will be attacked by myself. I will not defend myself. When I thought I cannot then be attacked. I will become whole. I am not diseased, I am the disease. Everyone hear that? I don't have disease, I am disease. I am disease. If I am not me, I will be as I am created perfectly. I could not be. So the obstacle to me being a healer and in love totally is my necessity to heal. Or to confront myself with myself. Yeah. We do not heal specifically. The disease is the specificness. We heal by being who we are.
Yes.
How can I work the miracle if you insist on being you? How can we share a miracle? We are sharing death and sickness in your individual perceptual mind. Miracles are not shared, they are experienced. They are subsequently shared because they are reparative, the declaration of the necessity for I'm beginning to get tough. You are the other healer's right there. See that? What the hell would you do if you went back and just stood there and taught the person? You got it. Do that. That's all you got. That's just me. You got that. See, that has nothing to do with the Course in Miracles. It has to do with you in association with yourself.
Yes.
Good for you. You did that. See, all it is a release of the necessity to stay in the shadow. But it can't really be measured, because every time you measure it, you find yourself in it. All this is practice. You remember this. Every time you don't measure it, you create literally a new physical self-association with your own cellular defense of yourself and the parts of your body. That's why you guys get so vital after you're around me. You forget that you're sick. Because the sickness was a defense against the truth which you're going to be anyway. Tough lesson, 136 is it? This is a sick mind because the mind needs itself to keep itself.
Yeah.
The fear is the release of the self-identity. Right? And these are just concepts. I'm telling you, that's a fact of your reassociation with yourself. It's so absurd. A part of your body could not be diseased unless you, not that you called it disease, but that you called it a part of you. Can you hear this? Your body is not a group of parts separate from the association. This is the same thing you do with your objective mind. You give it form and then attempt to hold the parts together. This is 130. I'm doing lesson 136. No wonder they fall. But remember, by your preemptive precognition, you have identified them as thought form. Can anybody hear that? This is in 136. It's also in lesson 7, 8, 9, and 10. Don't forget that each moment you are actually the source of the form that you are seeing. That's the problem. It is impossible that that not be so. And in that is your relief, isn't it? I am the cause of this. Yes. Nothing outside is affecting me. That's the philosophy. The psychology is that if it's impossible that not be so, even though these forms or images appear to be outside of you, they are not. They are coming from this direction. But the moment is so intense that it immediately is clouded by other thought form associations in your sequential time identity. Do you understand me? Can you understand this? That the perceptual mind then is nothing but the holding together of these thought forms, which have been constructed in its own mind and are being constructed each moment. Yes. But once it holds on to one identity, it springs into double jeopardy, because that identity will then form off the other identity. Yes. Do you see? Yes. Now it holds its body together in all sorts of form associations. You see what happens? Oh my. This is perceptual mind. Oh, that's okay. That's you. Yes. Yes. All you really have to do is look at it. You say, yes, that's me. Well, that's me out there. That's me. And I'm in this tension. I'm in this body. I'll hold these genetic associations of memory that brought me to this time and space. All right. I'll direct the previous attention that held me as so-and-so into a future relationship, and I will move linearly in time without the transformative necessity of the reassociation of me later in the time sequence. Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, boy. How the hell would it not be individual? If you're coming here as a body in all memories, okay, those memories are what make this world. Yeah. Yes. You don't have to study it. You are the world. I'm trying to make it simple for you. It couldn't get any simple. Now you're not, but it couldn't get any simple. I don't care what it is. It's still only your perceptual projection in association with yourself. Huh? Yep. What carimasu? Comprendez-vous? It's you. It's not someone else. Why are you afraid to be you? You're deadly afraid, so you have something outside of you that's going to defend you in your own association with yourself. No wonder you're sick. Here's the choice. That's choice. Nutty ones. Crazy ones. That's a choice that you're making each second. It's got nothing to do with your observation of it. It is false. Lesson 130. There is no communication between everything and you, because you're the distance between your own perceptual thoughts, neither of which mean anything. You think one of them means something. Wrong. If neither of them mean anything, then the miracle will work. If one of them means something, it gives you a self-identity from which you project yourself. Yeah. You understand? Yeah. Wow. Into thy arms that I enter now. Yeah. I won't look at this for I really should. I'm teaching abandonment, but I'm trying to get you to look. Thank you. What is that but a renunciation of your previous self-associations? What the hell do you think the Course said? Obviously, it's a releasing of your previous self-identity, which would also be your future self-identity. You understand? Yes. Anything previous is also future. Is that what's happening here now? Yeah. Thank you. It's not happening by your identity of it. It's happening because you are where you are now with it. Yes. Well, is it really changing all around me since I have come into this association? Listen, dear teacher, it's always been changing all around me. You're the one that held it steady. Now, if you need the miracle to observe it's changing, well, then use the miracle, because that's the reparative device. That's a reassociation in your mind to a more harmonious association with the previous conflict in your mind.
Yes.
Isn't that easy? Well, what about all those other minds? What other minds? Come on, this is the key if you're going to teach healing. There are no other minds. The idea of other mind is what the sickness is.
Yes.
Question. The idea of a separate mind is sickness.
Yes.
It would have to be, because it's conflictual by your attempt to identify it. That's sickness, because you'll lose and it'll attack you.
Yes.
Otherwise it wouldn't be separate from you. The reason it's as difficult in male associations is you really think that you usurp the power of the totalness and have demonstrated yourself to yourself. And I would be a threat to you. Why would I be a threat to you? Threat is unreal. Nothing can threaten you. Is this healing really occurring here? Of course. The ecstasy people are expressing is the release of the necessity for them to get sick and die. Perceptual mind doesn't see it. It says, no, I'm going to get sick and die. I don't care what you say. You're wrong. Am I wrong? Totally. There's no battle going on. We're absolutely right about this, or you wouldn't hold on to it. Each moment you're determined that you're right. Yeah. You have to.
Yes.
You send out all these messages, and they're all coming back in now to assure you your own stability within your own framework of association.
Yes. Thank you, Father.
Fortunately, we find that the idea of parts is the idea of wholeness. But the wholeness is not the sum of its parts, because the idea of being separate is what partness is. You try to assemble it in your own thought forms and put together a congruity of thought forms from various associations in time, and you call it a body. It's just nothing but chain memories. It's the Akashic record. Now, everything that's ever happened, but I can hold that in this association. It will be me, and I can verify it.
Yeah.
You are verifying it by being you.
Yes.
There's no distance. Hey, I can't teach this. How do you teach? There's no distance between the thought about yourself and the verification of it, but you think there is, and that's what time is.
Yes. Wow. Yeah.
Question. There's no distance between your thoughts. You think there is, and that's what gives it thought form, and then you bounce off your own associations with yourself.
Yeah.
Which is genetic code. Each thing verifies itself in that thought form time association. It becomes a species, quite literally.
Oh my.
Remember that if it's not forever, it's not real. And the perfect example would be to bring all of the thought forms together in a single moment of reality, which has to be all around you. Okay, that's the maturation of the maturity of the reassociation of the thought form emanating from the time of the state into the reality of your mind. This cannot not be so. How can that not be so? I'm telling you. It's so weird that you wouldn't say, yes, that's so. The reason you can't say, yes, that's so, is your identity is on denying it. This lesson 136.
Yes.
That's why your sickness is a choice. The necessity for you to be you is the denial of God. For crying out loud. But you can't finally deny your own wholeness because you are whole.
Yes.
And you use your own whole mind to deny yourself.
Yes.
Is there a God without you? Don't be absurd. God's an idea. You have it perfectly and you are God. Well, what do you mean? There's a God somewhere outside of me? No, there's not. When you're here, there's no God. I bet you can't. How the hell would there be a guy here? Well, he knows he crap. He knows about this. Come on, cut it out. If you're going to teach what you call ultra-existentialism, teach it. Don't fool around with the idea of extrapolating other associations and pretending that you exist in reality. This is the whole problem with all of these so-called, what you call, comparative subjective teachers. Once more, and I'm going to do lesson 136. Whatever you are, and that's all there is.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Once more. Whatever you are, and that's all there is. Here your freedom lies. This is forgiveness. And boy, this is a subtle thing that you could pound cant with and you'd never heard it. Hegel heard it less and became negative. Kierkegaard heard it. But as soon as he heard it, he had to declare it to be transformative because it is. His admission then would be that evil and good are the same thing. The limited association is the same as whole association because it's your association and there isn't any other. I know, but that immediately throws out all your philosophy and you won't like it. Because you're determined that there's something that you can examine in association with yourself. I'm doing the Course in Miracles. By not attempting to associate, this is the first lessons in the workshop, with your previous thought forms, you lose your self-identity and emerge later on in time in your own new association.
Yes.
It doesn't have anything to do with the other associate. Nothing. It has nothing to do with it. Nothing. It just has to do with you. That's scarier than hell, isn't it? You're very determined that it has to do with someone else. So you sit in your own mind and suddenly you discover your aloneness. And that's a dark night of the soul. Well, so what? Okay, do you see what happens? You suddenly see that. Why? You've used up all of the associations that you had constructed in time to keep your identity as so-and-so.
Yes.
That's what death is. Do you see?
Yes.
You've let yourself get old. You've done a body association. You've overcome the threats that were apparently outside of you. You played yourself against your own threats. You see, there really wasn't anything. It just lasted for the moment that you came here and did it, and then you're gone. Do you see now why we can say it was never real?
Yes.
When you examine it, you don't know who you are, how you got here, or where you came from. So you couldn't be real because the basis of reality is knowing who you are. So you don't know who you are, but you grab other previous associations of your mind in the chaotic reassociation of your time and give yourself that moment identity. You're aware that you are aware. But being aware that you are now aware is not what salvation is. Okay? It's the awareness of a single awareness of you, not projected from you.
Right.
That step to being aware of the aware is obviously necessary. Because that's what creates time, isn't it? It allows you to say, I'm not dead yet. And so the basis of the world is, I'm not dead yet. Because all of the memories of the world in that association of the parts held together are in that specific reference within time. Okay, which is going to fall apart and will not be here and is acknowledged by the temporal association. It says I am a human being and I'm going to die, right? I don't think there's anyone here that doesn't say that. It may say, well, I'm going to die and parts of me will die and go on, and that's crazy. The idea of death in your mind, the idea of time, obviously, is what keeps you here.
Yes.
I don't understand the idea that you would somehow lay this down, and go into a future association. What the hell would it be? But another false projection of your own mind, isn't it?
Yeah.
It wouldn't make any sense. If the healing is going to occur, okay, obviously it would have to occur now, wouldn't it? If it's in your own mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have chosen until now to be a self-identity which causes me to have a body association of sickness and death. Okay. I won't do that any longer.
Yes.
You understand me? I will not be that. All of my alternatives always proclaim my separate reality and have held me in the death association. Right? Remember now, vital to this healing process is the body is not real in the sense that you have given it reality and objectiveness. Okay? It's composed of billions of cells reassociating constantly in memory, factoring in your own mind association. How else would you be healed? There's no such thing as location. You're not holding yourself objectively here. Always. It's changing all the time. That's what healing is. Your determination to come into this bright reassociation of your own mind and deny it has been made by you. Because obviously heaven is all around you each moment. Didn't it?
Yes.
When you came into this room, obviously you came in with your body association. I don't know why you would want to, but obviously you do. You didn't think there was another choice. Well, I know, but everyone here will verify that I'm a body on the planet Earth, but it's pretty little. You say, well, I'm satisfied with that. There's a manner in which I can keep my identity and discover the truth. How? Truth is, you discover the truth by the loss of your own self-association. That's the whole Course in Miracles. You're not, but what the hell? Love is only the loss of self. Love is letting go of fear. Just a reduction. It's true, but everything is letting go. Love is letting go of self. Which is what fear is. Self-identity. What the hell do you think it is? Third step, huh? You have your program. Yeah, I won't do that. I'm not going to do that anymore, and I don't know if it'll change, but I'm not going to do that anymore anyway. You understand? I'm not going to dictate the change or what's going to happen. If I do that, I'll still be caught in my memory, because if I can remember the change, it's false. It's called let go and let God. Is that what's happening here?
Yes.
That's exactly what's happening. Not only is it happening, but each time you do it, as the cell reassociates itself, and I'll use the pancreas that I used before, or the liver, it couldn't possibly be diseased, because at that moment it was perfect in the remembrance of itself. When it then becomes lost, the essence of it is retained, and the new cell comes into full bloom unless the mind has directed it to continue to be sick. That's what healing is. That's why healing can sometimes appear to take a little time, or it can be simply spontaneous remission. There's no reason why it can't. If all of the cells decide at one moment, okay, within whatever association they are, the disease literally will disappear. Why the hell wouldn't it? It was only real for the moment that it was real. And you like the specificness of that. Is that really what I'm teaching? I'm teaching that it's whole because your mind is whole. Okay. It's hard for you to see that contractual healing is possible, but only in the whole certainty that this is my mind. I cannot see the disease association of our perceptual attraction. It doesn't mean anything to it. It doesn't mean anything to any whole mind. In that sense, when you guys go out, you're healing all the time. I don't know, if somebody comes to you and says, my name is so-and-so and I am cancer, you say you're perfect. Of course, I understand. The question is not the statement, the question is how are you looking at that in association with yourself? And that's entirely individual. I'll tell you the problem you have. Some of you guys are just coming into this. A whole mind knows that it's whole. Where there is conflictual misassociation, say at a depth in time, there is no evidence of its wholeness. This is the necessity for the single miracle. That is, God has communicated to any one single split mind. That then is what salvation is. If the requirement is fulfilled in the individual mind that had previously projected its sickness onto the other image association. Well, forgiving your brother. That is, if I give this association or any association in my mind a separate identity, okay, that's what sickness is. I have made it sick. How would I not have? I've named it in time. It's my thought, okay? But I have given it a separate identity from me and condemned it to my association with myself. Okay. Now we will share the identities of our individual minds and give them the reality of our own selfness. And you do. And they become relationships in your own mind. Yet there can be no communication because separation does not communicate at all. It's designed not to communicate, but to each of you to keep the tension of your own self-identities.
Yes.
And not allow the healing process to occur. Yet the healing process, which is the bringing together of your own whole mind, obviously can only occur in you. I'm not going to get into forgiveness. Obviously, I'm teaching forgiveness. That is, if I hold a judgmental association with something outside of my mind, I condemn myself to that judgmental association, which is what I was. If I don't let it go, how can the new me emerge? Cause no one pain, cause no grievance at all. Can you do that here? Oh, no, you can't stay here if you don't. If you're the cause of the grievance, right? If you're the cause of the pain, if you're the cause of sickness, if sickness is a defense for you against reality, which is obviously what you do if you think you're a body. If you are a body, if this is time, if this place is real, it will get sick and old and die. How would it not? Is that healing now going on in this reassociation of thought? Sure. What is it? To what advantage will you put it in your own self-identity? I have no idea. What do you want to be? You cannot be more than you choose to be. It won't make any difference. You still won't be. Am I allowed to feel this serenity that I feel with myself and my own mind? Well, yeah, I'm perfectly serene. I have absolutely no conflict with you. There is no such thing as conflict. Who is it that speaks? What difference does it make? There's no conflict. You need to know is what the conflict is. I'm speaking in your mind to you. The emergence of the personality of Jesus Christ of Nazareth, and I'll use the term personality of Jesus in the absence of felicity in the Wapnick book, is astonishing. Disregarding Wapnick entirely because his identifications are in the limited form, all right? But the service that he renders in that book is lovely because those of us who look at it from a whole mind standpoint will watch the personality of Jesus actually emerge, much like I'm going to do now. And it'll actually emerge, and a lot of the sentences in it will indicate what we attempt to do in parable or in allegory and metaphor. In other words, never mind the interpretation of it, that's false, because that's the idea that conflict could be real. Obviously, a whole mind uses the, what you would call the archetypal association of Helen and Bill to direct the limited mind to the conflict that it's experiencing. Just as obviously, somebody who compiles it allows the conflict to be real and measures it from its limited association standpoint rather than from the standpoint of what I am declaring to you. That being said, if you look at it from the standpoint, the personality that emerges is very much like I am. It's very much like you will be. As you let yourself be you. There are sentences in it that are extraordinary. You know? Miracles are flat-footed. Okay. You see? It's not an arch. An arch is always a form of separation or a resistance of gravity. I don't want to do it. How much in the allegory, in the metaphor, can you sense of this mind that's trying to find a manner to communicate this? Just much like what I'm doing with you now. There's another one in there that says the interim marks don't count, only the final grade is important. Exactly. He says that. It's exactly what I tell you. Forget all of this. Come and take the final test. We're not grading you on the in-between. He says that. That's in his place. He's looking for a way to say that's okay. The invention of fire, he says, you don't need fire, the miracle is fire.
Yes. Yes.
Lovely sentence. The miracle is the hot ignition of the passion of you to the earth, air, fire, and water. The hermetic coming out. The great rays emerging from the spark of fire and igniting. Lovely stuff. Where is that association? Right, it's here. Does it have a body identification? You want it to? You have a body identification. You can take this into this new time association and retain memories of this. That's what he's doing. You see our mutual memories? We are our mutual memories. What difference does it make how it's formed? You hear that? I don't care what you do with your perception, we are still going to be final mutual memories together, smart teacher. You cannot not be the Christ because that's all there is. The manner in which you associate that, I'm totally indifferent to. You think the manner in which you associate is important, and that's what keeps you here.
Wow.
What difference would it make?
Wow.
You say, yeah, but you're giving Jesus separate personality, totally separate. That's how I know it's whole. Because it's totally whole in my associate mind. Wow. There's nothing that it could do that's not be perfect, because there's nothing that you can do that's not perfect. Not literally. What do I care what you do? You guys that demand discipline of your own minds, I'm totally unconcerned with what you do. What the hell do I care what you do? What are you doing it for? Be the only person you could ask. So you demand an answer from me to the result of a decision that you've already made. When I don't give it to you, you get pissed and leave me. I can't have that. That's just your determination to keep your own identity. That has nothing to do with me. Some of you guys have been here for a few days and really hear me. Of course. You see? Yet I'll continually press you until you'll DOR on me if you're not going to get it. You'll just leave here and go away like tomorrow. You won't be able to stand that. It's too threatening to you. DOR means discharged on request. You'll say, you don't want me here anymore. And I'll say, no, I don't want you. I hate you. Go away. See? We really don't want What is all the miracle really? What are we really saying in this miracle of healing? There's no choice. If you choose it all, you'll choose falsely. When you come into this new light association, I'm teaching the miracle of no choice. I have given you, in time, your own choices. I had no alternative to that because you think there's choice. I keep doing the Course in Miracles here because we are in an impossible situation where you actually believe that you are choosing. What I'm telling you is any choice is always between nothing and nothing. You know why that's why you're fearful of the Course in Miracles, obviously. It says that. All your choices are wrong. It doesn't say that you could, and very reasonably to me, it doesn't say that you could make the right choice. Because if you could make it, you would have already made it. That's why the world is over. You must have made it. What's wrong with being wrong about this? So this is what I don't understand. You are wrong. You actually, as God created, I don't care what you do with it, you're wrong. It's not sinful. It's got nothing to do with the pain you're inflicting on yourself, but because of it. But you are wrong. Because sickness and pain and death and greed and all the crap, the arbitrary death associations that you tolerate in this hell of your own mind astonish me. I don't know how you stand it. Okay? I don't know how you stand. Look out, here comes a guy with a machine gun. He's going to attack us and come in here and spray this whole area because it's a threat to him and we're all dead. That happened yesterday, those of you who saw the paper. Yeah. And you say, well, that can certainly happen around here. What kind of a place is this? I couldn't stand it. It happened for no reason. 27 innocent people were killed, not because of anything they did, simply because they were killed. Yeah. And you say, well, that's what we defend ourselves against. I keep that from happening to me. I wear a bulletproof vest. Yet everywhere you go, each moment is liable to happen to you. Yeah. But it never does, only to the sickness and pain that you feel at the time of your own association. In the meantime, you've projected it outside of you, and those 28 people are suffering terribly, or the 10,000 that starved to death last night, and you're okay. Okay? You see? Now, obviously, if you think in your own mind, in your self-identity, that you're okay, you will not hear this message. I mean literally, don't tell me that you'll hear it partially. You will not hear it. You will not hear this. Because the self-identity is the necessity for you to give value to this association that you find yourself. You literally cannot hear it. Fortunately, that association that you have was only for that moment. Okay. So that I can show you, as in the Course of Miracles, by not judging that association, it will leave you and you will come into a new range of your own certainty of your own identity. The question that should arise for you is, how would it not be uncompromising? You continue to attempt to associate your own thoughts about what you are with reality. The problem is the thoughts about what you are. Yes. Doesn't make any difference what it is. You think it matters in your own association with your perceptions, but it makes absolutely no difference at all. One form is the same as any other form. None of them are real. Is it possible for our individual minds, previously designed to be autonomous and to hold our self-identities, to come together in a new association in a sequential time fabric of reality and identify ourselves more harmoniously? Of course. But you remember this, the conflict is always in your mind, not there. That may not appear to work, but it'll catch up. Good for you. Yeah, because some of you are still looking for the result of the healing thoughts you're having. Yet the result had to be instantaneous if the healing was real. In that sense, there's a little process involved in that. Those of you who are undergoing real re-body association since you've been around this energy will begin to, if you won't get an identity, will begin to take on the vitality of the reassociation of all of what? The love memories of you. the love memories, which are harmonious memories, the communicative energies, will emerge because you're nothing but memory. And each one of your cells has a total memory of the harmony of love and truth. You're the one that has instructed it somewhere in time to be only harmonious in the conflict of the self-identity association. You're at war with yourself. Again, is the war not real for more than a moment? It couldn't be. This conflict could not be real. How could it be? Look right at it. How could sickness be real? What would be conflictual? Except the forms that you set up to be conflictual in your own mind. Nothing, it couldn't be. There's no such thing as conflict. Can I teach that here? I can teach it to the extent where you can examine your determination to associate with yourself. I can't teach it beyond that, nor do I have to. Because as soon as you begin to examine it, and I have in our new association given you the power to change your mind, to make real decisions, you will make them. Why? You made them. You could not have come into this association without having made the decision. You might as well admit it. You're the savior of the world. At this level, the problem you have at this level is you have to make a declaration of your personal transformation. It's abhorrent to you because any definitions are always perceptually conflictual. That's why I hide. Because you're attacking me. When you come here, you are in a condition of attack of reality. I require your protection. We call them secret society. Freemasonry is an example of protection of the word. If Jesus would say, let's face it, if you can find your own whole self, you'll kill it. Because it'll be the loss of your own limited self-identity. That's where the conflict lies. Yet are you the Christ. And obviously you need a savior. There's no way that you can do it yourself. Those of you who think this is a self-help program are dead wrong. You need someone to confront you with the necessity for your release of judgment. As I told you yesterday, this is your ultimate test. Everything the Course in Miracles teaches is totally outrageous. It plainly has to be. Because it says none of this is real and doesn't make any sense, and that's an outrageous philosophy. That's what makes it true. It's impossible. What I'm saying to you as I stand in front of you in this bright light that you're coming into is impossible for the world to see. Be thankful, because if the world could see it, it wouldn't be true. Got it? A sick thing cannot see a whole thing. No matter how many of the forms they put together in the perceptual association, they cannot make it whole. Okay? That's why the intercession is occurring. You guys are bubbling, it's called. We can't get any energy out of it. You're bubbling into computers. Okay? You're taking all of the separate thought forms and you're assembling monstrous computer association. They always move horizontally because there's a breakdown of the thought to another thought. You with me on that? Yeah. Now, that computer will become your God in that sense, because you can feed your input into that computer and it will give you an infinite number of variable results that will continue to verify your previous association. Some of you really can hear me. God then becomes a mechanism, which is really what the body is, a mechanism. And what happens to it? It's real unto itself. But when it loses its capacity for reassociation in late time, we plow it under. That is, this project will be abandoned. It's like squeezing light out of it. See, we sow it and then we harvest it. And Jesus says some of it lands on rocks. Well, we've done most of the harvesting of the fertile stuff, and the rest of the crap has got shallow roots. You see? It's going to bear thistles because it doesn't have any depth, it's arched, it's not flat-footed. It can't come from its own total potential. Instead, it's formulated in what you call shallow thought form associations. But what it is nothing. But remember, you're the one that's in there if you're there.
Yeah.
Do you see? You actually think that that nothing is in your own mind, where you are contained in your own karma. And those thought forms persist in you as you hold them together in your own mind. This obviously is later on in your time of coming from the potential to the bright light. This is a later on association of you, where you have lost the conflict of the necessity for the examination of the chaotic thought forms.